On the political scene, one of the Democratic candidates is Senator Joseph Biden. Have you seen the problem he's been having? He went around and made a speech. And apparently, he quoted I think it was a British politician, took his speech and kind of paraphrased it as his own. And then the press got on him, and then he was charged also with taking part of Bobby Kennedy's speeches. And Biden says, not to worry, he reassured his staff. He said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
I guess your boy Dr. Phil is upset with the rhetoric that's going on right now, so he's calling for your boy Joe Biden to stop his persecution on Trump. It makes us look bad as Americans. I get it. But he is going so hard on him. I mean, listen, it's a dirty game out here. Many use political powers so that they can defeat and win. You understand? But in this situation right here, your boy Joe Biden is doing a little too much. Far reach, if you ask me. Sit back and react with your boy. If you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. Let's see what Dr. Phil is about to say. Let's go.
I wanted to share my final thought about this. This weaponization of our great institutions, the FBI, Justice Department, and individual states' similar institutions, will lead to one of two outcomes. One is more of the same from the other side, tit for tat. That may seem deserved, but it is not the right way forward for America. The other is what I call on you to demand from your politicians today, an end to this craziness in order to save the soul and sanity of our country. The Pope has actually given us the right approach in his new book when he says, we are all brothers and sisters, and there must be no resentment among us. For any war to truly end, forgiveness is necessary. That is true of any war, including our current cultural war. We need our Justice Department to return to the business of meting out justice and not running the political agendas of those currently in power, blindly seeking convictions, warranted or otherwise, and attacking political opponents.
It makes us as Americans look very weird to other countries. Also weak, especially with our borders being open right now. It looks like it's a free-for-all. You can come by and do whatever you want. You know why? Because the house is busy accusing each other. They out for the hunt. And while that's happening, guess what? Their focus is not where it needs to be. So we need to refocus ourselves and we need to get back to where it needs to be. You understand? If you know what I mean, go in the comments and say, you know the vibes, all right? Let's go.
That requires a very few important things from each of you, from all of us. Finding your voice, forgiveness, and focus on the way forward. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgiveness, and at the same time requiring better. We are not some banana republic, for God's sakes. What are we going to do next? Have a Putin poisoning posse and start finding political opponents foaming at the mouth at home, not so mysteriously dying in their lazy boy recliners? We're better than that. We must be better than that. I don't like what I see happening in our country. This kind of thing is exactly why I launched Merit Street Media and wrote, We've Got Issues.
People need to realize what this regime truly is. We are not a free country anymore. We are not a free people. We do not have free speech. Listen, here's the situation we have. Republicans in Washington need to get it together. They need to understand how real people across the country feel, how our voters feel, how our constituents feel. And the very fact, here's something else. They bragged about fundraising. The very fact that so many people have donated to President Trump is because they support President Trump. The very fact that all of a sudden the NRCC got a bump in fundraising after those convictions is because they support President Trump. But I can tell you right now, people are going to stop supporting Republicans if Republicans don't get their act together and actually do something about this. It's time for us to do something. And Steve, you want to know what's happening tomorrow in Washington? We've got Joe Biden that is literally going to put into executive orders a permanent invasion, daily invasion of our country. He's going to make it legal. He's going to make it law. He's going to do that with the power of his presidential pen. You know what we should be doing right now? Today, we should be voting to impeach Joe Biden because of the invasion in the United States. Oh, but no, none of that is happening up here in Washington, D.C., because Republicans continually have their head up their ass and can't figure out how to actually use the power that the people gave us. This is a new time in America, and I am so fed up, Steve. I am so fed up. I am so sick of it because I know people at home are sick of it. People are sick and tired of a feckless, useless Republican Party that never does a damn thing to stop any of this. They just sit in the boat and row along with the Democrats and row and row. Well, one day we are going to row ourselves right off of that cliff.
I don't like seeing the weaponization of our justice system, agencies, and powerful government actions that, frankly, just make my skin crawl for all of us and for my grandchildren. And let's be honest, this is so not just about Trump.
Yeah, if you ask me, this is a super shit show. Yeah, I said it. It's 100% shit show. And what they're doing is super manipulative. They're bending their powers the best way they know how. It's like a coalition is against your boy Trump. You know, I get what he's saying, man. We got to stop it both ways, you know, not just one side. We got to stop all the wrong rhetorics. It became a clown show, everything. A lot of people who were so accountable, and how can I say, people would look up to them. If you ask me, they had leader qualities. Now, I don't know if it's because we got older and we could see through the bullshit, but if you ask me, listen, a lot of people's legacy has been torn down in this year of transparency, or should I say, in these years of transparency. So many legacies have been torn apart, and the majority of them did it on themselves. You get me? They are the only ones who they can blame.
If you let your hatred for Donald Trump compromise your ability to find true north on your moral compass, shame on you.
Facts.
If you let your disgust for Biden make you blind to the inevitable consequences of pursuing revenge, then God help the children who will inherit the dystopian nightmare we create. We need leaders who will pledge to end this vicious cycle right now and return us to that safe place where our institutions are no longer bastardized and weaponized, but rather simply serve their intended purpose. We have serious problems to solve, and it will take serious people to solve them.
That is true.
Men and women who we hold accountable for doing that which they were selected or hired to do. They need to know we are watching, and their positions are privileges, not legacies. They work for us until they don't. I'm not into politics. I claim no expertise, nor do I seek any. I don't advocate voting for one candidate over another. I stay in my lane addressing human behavior collectively, culturally, and am focused on how we can have maximum control in our lives and turn this ship of state called America in the right direction.
I also noticed that ever since, I would say around Obama, is when they started making it popular to vote. And the way how they make people vote is based on celebrities voting. You see, a celebrity voting should not dictate who you should vote for. You should vote for what you believe is right, what you're looking for as far as change. Not because someone you like is voting for someone who you have no clue who they're voting for. That right there is asinine. We got to get away from that rhetoric right there, that mindset. We got to get far from distance, you get me? So with that being said, make sure you're not out here getting bamboozled. Do your own research on people. Don't just pick one party straight down the line. Pick for what's right. Pick for a greater change.
And get her back on track so we can be proud. That's my mission, and this is a call to action to save our collective soul and sanity. This is also a call to redemption, healing, and forgiveness that leads to peace among us all, which is the most important gift we can share in our dangerous world. The current administration could and should do the right thing. Dismiss now, even now, post-conviction of a political opponent, all such lawfare, and pledge to return to the normal functioning of a government rightly run. God bless you all, and God bless these United States of America.
Another thing I noticed too, one thing you will always see, and I don't want to make it a Democrat Republican thing, because look, I got love for all humankind. I don't care who you vote for. Even if you vote for Biden, I'm not going to sit here and say I can't be your friend. I'm going to just look at you and say, well, at least we have some kind of differences, but we can still agree to disagree. We don't have to be enemies simply because you're voting for someone I'm not. And your money shouldn't stop for that exact reason as well, you know? They had these hosts on Hot 97 who somehow banned 2 rappers for simply joining Donald Trump's campaign in the Bronx. They took them off the roster, which that's the potential way of how they pay their family. You get me? So that right there is wrong in all form and fashion. That should have nothing to do with how you get your money. And we got to stop that as well. You know, we got to stop shaming people just because they vote for someone who you don't vote for, because they don't want to agree with you. We got to stop that. In life, you can't make everybody happy, and you can't agree with any and everything. With that being said, listen, if you stuck to this part of the video, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell. See you in the next one.